Something subtle has changed, not in any one event, not in the headlines, but in how the world lands. Everything still works, the systems still run, and yet, something about it feels hollow, like the shape is there, but the weight is lighter than it used to be. More people are describing a shift in experience. People say the world feels less vivid, more dreamlike. Moments feel thin, and reality doesn't feel as solid as it once did. Some talk about heightened intuition or uncanny coincidences, others about senses feeling sharper, or even telepathic impressions. What's strange is not the feeling itself, it's how many people are having it at the same time. They are not mystics, not philosophers, ordinary people in ordinary lives saying similar things in different words. It feels unreal. It's like I'm watching life happen. Something's different, but I can't explain it. When a feeling becomes this common, it stops being personal. When people talk about a veil, they're not usually describing something mystical. They're describing the moment when experience stops feeling automatic. Most of the time, perception runs quietly in the background. The world feels solid because we don't question how it appears. But when that process becomes noticeable, even slightly, the world feels thinner, not gone, just less unquestioned. In dreams, the mind creates a world that feels real while it's happening. In waking life, it does something similar, only with more rules and repetition. When those rules loosen even a little, waking life can take on a dreamlike quality. Not surreal, just slightly distant, like you're inside the experience, but also aware that you're experiencing it. Many people describe becoming more sensitive to tone, to timing, to subtle shifts in others. Some call it intuition, some call it coincidence. It's not that something new has appeared, it's that less is being filtered out. When attention quiets, patterns that were always there become easier to notice. For a long time, the world told a convincing story. Progress, stability, predictable futures. As that story weakens, the mind stops fully investing in it. Attention pulls back. And when attention pulls back, perception changes. Not because reality has disappeared, but because belief is no longer doing all the work. The line between dreaming and waking was never as solid as we thought. Both are constructed experiences. One just follows stricter rules. When people say life feels dreamlike, they're often sensing that boundary, not crossing it, just noticing it. In dreams, reality is private. Each mind generates its own world, its own symbols, its own rules. That's why dreams can dissolve so easily. There's nothing holding them in place except the dreamer's attention. Waking life is different. This world is stable because it's shared. We don't experience reality alone. We experience it together. Language, money, time, identity. These things don't exist in the same way a mountain exists. They exist because enough people continue to treat them as real. This shared agreement is what gives the world its weight and consistency. Not belief alone, but synchronized perception, expectation, and behavior. The world feels solid because it's constantly being reinforced by routines, by institutions, by repetition, by billions of people acting as if the same rules still apply. But when large numbers of people begin to question the same assumptions, when the future no longer feels believable, that agreement doesn't vanish, but it loosens. And when it loosens, reality doesn't collapse. It feels lighter, less authoritative, more like something we're participating in rather than something being imposed. This is where the language of the veil appears. Not because something mystical is happening, but because people are noticing the structure of shared reality itself. Some people describe moments that feel telepathic, shared thoughts, simultaneous knowing. This doesn't require anything supernatural. Humans are pattern-reading systems. When we're less distracted, less filtered, and more present, those patterns can feel immediate, almost instant. It feels extraordinary, but it's built from very ordinary awareness. So when people say the veil is thinning, they're not saying reality is disappearing. They're saying the process of perception is becoming visible. The world feels lighter because we're no longer mistaking the experience for something fixed and permanent. Nothing here means something has gone wrong. This isn't collapse, it's transition, a loosening of old assumptions. And when many people notice the same subtle shift at once, it doesn't mean they're imagining it. It means awareness itself is changing how it looks at the world.